Ray Dalio, the renowned investor and founder of Bridgewater Associates, has issued a stark warning. A major debt crisis looms on the horizon, extending far beyond the boundaries of a typical recession. This isn't just another economic downturn, it's a potential financial catastrophe that could reshape the global economic landscape. This impending crisis, he cautions, could strike the United States within the next 3 years, with the potential to send shockwaves throughout the global economy. The ripple effects could be felt in every corner of the world, affecting markets, businesses, and individuals alike. Dalio's prediction is not rooted in unfounded pessimism, but in a clear-eyed assessment of current economic trends. He meticulously analyzes data and trends, drawing from decades of experience in the financial sector. He points to the alarming rise in global debt, particularly in the United States, as a key indicator of impending trouble. The numbers are staggering, and the trajectory is unsustainable. This surge in debt, he argues, is unsustainable, and will inevitably lead to a painful correction. The consequences of such a correction could be severe, impacting everything from employment rates to the stability of financial institutions. Dalio's warning should not be taken lightly. His insights are based on rigorous analysis and a deep understanding of economic cycles. As the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, he has a deep understanding of financial markets and a proven track record of identifying economic bubbles and predicting market downturns. His expertise is unparalleled, and his predictions have often been eerily accurate. His insights have earned him the respect of policymakers and investors worldwide, making his latest prediction a cause for serious concern. The world would do well to heed his warning and prepare for the potential economic storm ahead. At the heart of Dalio's warning lies a simple but often overlooked truth. Excessive spending, whether by individuals, businesses, or governments, is unsustainable in the long run. When spending consistently outpaces income, debt inevitably accumulates, creating an imbalance that cannot be ignored indefinitely. In the case of the United States, Dalio argues that years of uncontrolled deficit spending have created a ticking time bomb. The national debt has ballooned to unprecedented levels, exceeding $36 trillion, a figure that dwarfs the country's annual economic output. This mountain of debt, Dalio warns, is not merely a theoretical concern, but a clear and present danger to the nation's economic well-being. As interest rates rise, the cost of servicing this debt will skyrocket, consuming an increasingly larger share of government revenue and crowding out essential spending on education, infrastructure, and social programs. Dalio warns of a particularly perilous scenario known as a debt-death spiral. This occurs when a government's borrowing costs rise so high that it is forced to borrow even more money simply to make interest payments on its existing debt. This creates a vicious cycle, as the increasing debt load further erodes investor confidence, leading to even higher borrowing costs. The government becomes trapped in a downward spiral, with no easy way to escape the crushing weight of its debt burden. While the United States has not yet entered a full-blown debt-death spiral, Dalio argues that the country is worryingly close to the edge. He points to the recent surge in interest rates, driven by inflation and the Federal Reserve's efforts to tighten monetary policy, as a sign that the situation is becoming increasingly precarious. Faced with the looming threat of a debt crisis, Dalio offers a clear and concise prescription: fiscal prudence. He urges policymakers to take immediate action to rein in government spending and reduce the deficit, bringing it down to a more sustainable level of 3% of GDP. Dalio acknowledges that deficit reduction will require difficult choices and may lead to short-term economic pain. However, he argues that these measures are essential to avert a far greater crisis in the long run. He emphasizes that reducing the deficit is not about austerity for its own sake, but about creating a more stable and sustainable economic foundation for future generations. By addressing the debt problem head-on, Dalio believes that the United States can restore investor confidence, lower borrowing costs, and pave the way for long-term economic growth. Section 5. Navigating the crisis: potential government actions. Dalio suggests that in addition to fiscal prudence, governments may need to consider a range of unconventional measures to navigate the impending debt crisis. These could include debt restructuring, monetary policy interventions, and even the use of sanctions as a pretext to avoid debt payments. Debt restructuring, for example, could involve extending the maturity dates of existing debt obligations, reducing interest rates, or even writing off a portion of the debt altogether. While such measures would likely be unpopular with creditors, they could provide much-needed breathing room for governments struggling to manage their debt loads. Monetary policy interventions, such as quantitative easing or negative interest rates, could also be deployed to try to stimulate economic growth and reduce the debt burden. However, these measures come with their own risks and uncertainties, as they can lead to inflation and asset bubbles. Section 6. The global impact, foreign dependence on U.S. debt. The potential consequences of a U.S. debt crisis extend far beyond its borders. The interconnected nature of today's global economy means that financial instability in one major economy can ripple through others, causing widespread economic disruptions. As the world's largest economy and issuer of the global reserve currency, the United States plays a pivotal role in the global financial system. The stability of the U.S. dollar is crucial for international trade and finance, influencing everything from commodity prices to exchange rates. Foreign governments, central banks, and institutional investors hold trillions of dollars in U.S. Treasury securities, viewing them as a safe and liquid investment. These securities are often used as a benchmark for other financial instruments, underscoring their importance in the global market. However, a loss of confidence in the U.S. economy, or a perception that the government is unable or unwilling to manage its debt, could lead to a fire sale of these securities, sending shockwaves through global markets. Such a scenario could trigger a financial crisis, affecting economies worldwide. A decline in the value of the U.S. dollar, which could result from a debt crisis, would also have significant implications for the global economy. It would affect international trade, investment flows, and the balance of payments for many countries. It would make imports more expensive for U.S. consumers and businesses, potentially fueling inflation. Higher import costs could lead to increased prices for goods and services, impacting the cost of living and business operations. Conversely, it would make U.S. exports more competitive, potentially boosting economic growth. A weaker dollar could help American manufacturers and exporters by making their products cheaper and more attractive to foreign buyers, thus supporting domestic job creation and economic expansion. Section 7. A History of Predictions, Dalio's Track Record. Ray Dalio is no stranger to making bold predictions about the global economy. His insights have often been ahead of the curve, capturing the attention of both seasoned investors and curious onlookers. Over the years, he has earned a reputation for his ability to identify emerging trends and anticipate market movements, both bullish and bearish. His analytical prowess has made him a trusted voice in the financial world. His track record is not without its blemishes. There have been times when his predictions did not materialize as expected, leading to scrutiny and debate. Like any investor, he has made his share of incorrect calls. These moments serve as a reminder that even the most experienced minds can face challenges in the unpredictable world of finance. However, his successes, such as his prediction of the 2008 financial crisis, have cemented his status as one of the world's most respected economic thinkers. This particular forecast showcased his deep understanding of economic cycles and market dynamics. Dalio's latest prediction of a looming debt crisis should be viewed within the context of his broader body of work. His extensive research and historical analysis provide a foundation for his current views. While it is impossible to say with certainty whether or when his prediction will come to pass, his insights and analysis provide valuable food for thought for policymakers, investors, and anyone concerned about the future of the global economy. His perspectives encourage a deeper examination of the factors shaping our financial landscape. Section 8. Charting a course: Practical Advice for Uncertain Times. In light of Dalio's warning, what practical steps can individuals and policymakers take to navigate these uncertain economic waters? For individuals, Dalio's advice is simple: live within your means, avoid excessive debt, and build a financial cushion to weather potential economic storms. Diversifying investments across different asset classes can also help mitigate risk. For policymakers, the task is more complex. They must balance the need for fiscal responsibility with the imperative to support economic growth and address pressing social needs. Dalio's insights suggest that delaying difficult decisions will only exacerbate the problem, making it essential to address the issue of unsustainable debt levels sooner rather than later. Section 9. Conclusion, a call to action. Ray Dalio's prediction of a looming debt crisis serves as a stark reminder of the importance of sound economic management and the potential consequences of unchecked government spending. While the future is inherently uncertain, his insights provide a valuable roadmap for navigating the challenges ahead. The time for complacency is over. Policymakers, business leaders, and individuals alike must heed Dalio's warning and take proactive steps to address the issue of unsustainable debt levels. Failure to do so could have dire consequences not just for the United States but for the entire global economy. The path forward will undoubtedly be challenging, requiring difficult choices and a willingness to embrace change. However, by heeding Dalio's call to action, we can create a more stable and prosperous future for ourselves and generations to come.